everybody. I'm Greg.
And I'm Katie. Welcome to the Meeple Society. Today we are on episode 70. Another go back episode. This is the one we've been promising for a while. We finally finished the peas, so here we are.
And now we get to struggle to remember how to play the games.
It's been a while on some of these.
Some of them,
yes.
Some of them we played just right after the retreat.
Most of these, if not all of these, were attained around the time of the Dice Tower retreat, which, as we said, was back in early September.
It just took us a while to get through it.
Yeah, we had a lot to get through.
And Katie made you wait till we got done with all the peas.
Yes, I did not want 2 go back episodes in the middle of the peas.
She's mean that way.
The next one will be after Christmas, because you know there's going to be some at Christmas.
Kickstarters, if anything.
Maybe. I don't remember what's coming in that will require.
Have you got any Kickstarters that I don't know about?
No.
Okay.
The last one that came in was a tea, so it's not a go back.
No, it's not.
So it's good. We won't see it for a while. Anyway, shall we get started?
In 3 or 4 years. Anyway.
Before we get started, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course hit that bell icon if you want notification of any future content.
And click the link below and you can see all of our social media.
All right, now we can get started.
Now we can start. We're going to start with a little bitty game that we were given. We actually were given this game to us after visiting a brand new
what was the name of that store?
What do you call it? A cafe. Board game cafe.
Off the top of my head, I cannot remember the
Valhalla?
Valhalla. I think so.
Something Valhalla.
I will put it right here.
It was in
south of Birmingham,
Alabama.
Yes.
On our way back from the retreat, we went in. We bought a game, which is on this stack too.
Yep.
And he gave us this game and said, "Hey, let us know, see what you think of it." And this is called Brewing Shenanigans. This is by Anthony Treadway, who is a native of that area.
Yes.
He visits that store a lot, I guess.
Yes.
And this was one of his games. This is one of those games that it's a nice little cafe game.
Yeah.
Where you can play at a bar or whatever. It's a 2-player game, and it's one of those, if you have more copies, you can play with more players.
Yep. I like the components.
Yeah.
The little clocks.
The little clocks.
Those are cute. Okay, so this one is a coffee brewing game. The instructions, I think, were pretty good. I don't remember having any issues with the rules.
And the components in the cards are all wood. I mean, it's pretty thick cards.
Yeah. Okay, so, and again, it's been a little while. I know we need to play this again. This one, I don't think we played it. What's the word I'm looking for? When we played it, we do not engage in take that. And there is some take that in this, which in most 2-player games, you're going to find that, I'm afraid. So with this game, the idea is that you are trying to make one of the 4 drinks up here, or try to make as many of them as you can. There are 4 drinks total: a macchiato or cortado, and forgive me, I don't drink coffee, so a latte and a cappuccino. Each one of them give a certain number of victory points at the end of the game. Each one of them have the ingredients needed to make them down here at the bottom. The goal of the game is to get those ingredients and to make the drinks. So on your turn, you take one of any number of actions. And you can invest time. So throughout the game, you're getting these little time tokens. You can invest time into your siphon. Every 2 time you put on here is 1 point at the end of the game. That's one way to get points. I don't think either of us ever took advantage of that when we played because we were so focused on getting these. Yeah. And I'm wondering if we didn't miss an opportunity. We need to play this again. I'm going to tell you that now.
It's full ability.
I don't think we did. We need to play it some more. Yeah. Anyway, you can, if you use your other pieces of equipment, everybody has 3 pieces. You have a steaming pitcher, a tamp and portafilter, and then a siphon. The siphon, you just put stuff onto, it points at the end of the game. You can use your tamp and portafilter and pay 1 time and produce 1 espresso. The espresso is used in all 4, in all 4 of these drinks. You can dirty your steaming pitcher. Your steaming pitcher. You can dirty.
What's a pilcher?
I don't know. You can, again, I said I don't drink coffee, okay? You can dirty your pitcher with any number of time and take that many steamed milk. Now, mind you, you're only doing one action per turn. So if you have a surplus of time, it might be worth it to spend 3 to get 3 milk and
Yeah,
not
'cause
have to do that again.
up here takes steamed
Yeah,
milk.
everything takes steamed milk. Some take
And
multiples.
latte takes 3 steamed milk.
So you can combine resources to draft a drink. So if I spent my 3 times, or to craft a drink, I'm sorry, and I have an espresso, I can now claim this latte if I'm the first one to accomplish this. These go back into their piles because I no longer have these ingredients, and I get to keep the latte. And 3 victory points. That goes back in that pile. There we go. Let's see. You can pay 2 times to draw a shenanigan card. And this is where I think we failed to play the game the way it should have been played.
Yeah.
Shenanigan cards do a number of things. Prevent a crafted drink from being spilled. Skip your next turn. This effect can be used during an opponent's turn. Or spill a crafted drink. Again, this is where the take that happens. If you spill a drink, that drink goes back up here into the center for other people now to make.
Yep.
Steal 1 steamed milk from an opponent. Or dirty your tampon portafilter and spend 2 time to produce 2 espresso. So there's good pieces, there's bad pieces. We did not use these to their ability. Yeah.
No.
So I think this adds a neat twist to the game. And again, we need to play it again and just let go of our aversion to take that and just do it.
Yep.
But let's see, you can play a shenanigan card, pay time to get a shenanigan card, or you can pass your turn. The round continues until everybody has to pass, until you are out of time, you can no longer do anything. At the end of the round, you clean your stuff, you gain 6 more time, and then start the next round and continue like that until all 4 drinks have been made. It's a very basic game. I think there is the potential for a lot of complexity in here, especially when you start taking these shenanigan cards into play, knowing when to spend time on the siphon versus spending it on other things. There are other ways to clean. You can only use each of these once per round unless you find a shenanigan card that will let you clean them, because you can't clean them till the end of the round. So there is some complexity there. I definitely want to play it some more. I wouldn't mind getting my hands on a second copy and trying it 4-player too.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, because I don't think they were. I think they were only like
$25.
Were they 25? I think they were
25.
like 10.
No, they were 25.
Okay. So yeah, so this is something that sounds good. Just check them out. It's Nebula Studios, and they have a website on there. You can probably put down below if you want to contact them. They sell it online, or we'll put the name of the game, the cafe in Mississippi, down below. Alabama. Down below in the comments, and you can check them out there.
I love the thematics of this letter that's included with the game, dated October 12th, 1927, with coffee stains on it.
So yeah, so if Brewing Shenanigans sounds like something you like, check it out. We're going to keep on hold of it and try and get some more plays of it.
Yeah. Okay, if I can get the box open. There we go. That is Brewing Shenanigans.
Next we have, well, we'll get one that we bought after the retreat. This one was not during the retreat, it was afterwards. This is one, though, we played at the retreat. This is Landmarks. This was this was very popular at the retreat. It's one of the new games. And it was big at Gen Con, too.
Well, yeah, it was. I think it sold out at Gen Con, didn't it? Mm-hmm. All right, so the idea with this one, we've not played the team version yet. We have played the cooperative version many, many times. All right, so here's your board. You actually have 2 different sides of the board. You can either do generic or nice and pretty landscaping.
The only bad thing is it's a cloth board and it has to be folded up to fit in the box, so you don't ever get rid of these creases.
Yeah, unfortunately. All right, so there's 3 different difficulties in this. There is the team play, which again we have not done yet, but there is also easy and hard. I don't even want to call it medium. It's hard. So the way this plays, one player is the clue giver. You choose a card, you stick it in your little piece and
code names.
Yes.
It's got a lot of code names.
It does have a lot of the feel of code names in it. So at the bottom of each of these cards gives 3 words. And it tells you right here on the card where those 3 words are going to go. So I'm going to have the word trousers, and it's going to be right here. I'm going to have the word oyster, and it's going to,
Where are you?
I don't know, right there. And then oysters, I'm looking at this upside down, is going to be right here. And then syrup is going to be here. So trousers, oyster, syrup. Now, mind you, obviously you would have these actually written on the card. That's trousers. This is oysters.
That's a T?
That's a T.
That looks like an L.
It's a T. Trousers. Oysters. There you go. Is that better? I know. Whatever. You have this card that tells you, the person who's doing the clue giving has this card that, thank you, that tells you where all these different things are that you're trying to lead the other players to. We played this 4 times last night. Never won. 4 times? 5 times.
4.
How many times did we play it last night?
You didn't.
I
you
was
were
the
never
only
giver,
person who
but
was not the clue giver, so it's 4 times.
4 of
Yep.
us, yes.
I am undefeated as a clue giver, but we did not play.
She's only done it once.
I've only done it once.
Not a big deal.
Anyway.
Now, when I did it, everybody's like, how hard? Come on, it's not that hard.
Everybody
Every
thought it
time
was
they
hard.
did it, everybody's like, that's harder than you think it is.
Yeah. All right. So the idea is there's all these different symbols on here. And the symbols are also shown here. So like this pink is a trap. You don't want to lead people into traps because that reduces the amount of water you can hold. The water is equivalent to the number of tiles you have available to you. At the start of the game, you only have 7. Your canteen can hold 7 tiles in it. 7 tiles of water. That's it. If you hit a trap, you now only can hold 6, and then 5, and then 4, etc.
When you fill back up.
When you fill back up.
Level.
So that's traps. You also have curses. Curses, you cannot escape the island with a curse. You have to find the amulet to cure your curse. However, if you have 2 curses, the amulet only takes care of 1. Guess you're not winning.
Yep.
Because you can't win
You
with a curse.
lose with a second curse.
There are treasures. Treasures is the goal of the game. You need to find your treasures. There is water. Water allows you to refill your canteen up to whatever your maximum is based on how many traps you've hit. So if I have 3 left and I only have my canteen level is 6 because I've already hit 1 trap, now I only get 3 more to make them, to help me get them to the treasures and out the exit. There is an exit, which is this little gray spot that you absolutely cannot see on air. I know that. And then there is this green one over here. That's the amulet that is the cure to 1 curse. Not multiples, unfortunately. So you are coming up with words, trying to get them to the good spots and stay away from the curses and the traps. Blank spots are fine. You might need them to get where you're going. So if I'm looking at this card like this, oh wow, okay. I don't want to take you north or west, or east, I mean. So I would want to try to find something that would mix trousers and syrup. I don't know how I would do that, but you know, you come up with a word that, okay, so I come up with a word.
It has to be a one
word. It cannot be directional based, so I can't say northwest or northeast. That would be cheating. But I could say trousers and syrup.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah, I don't even know. Anyway, so maybe I do, or maybe I do this. Maybe I'm inclined to go sticky, but sticky would definitely be syrup, but I don't know if they would think trousers. They'd probably go one of these areas and probably hit one of those traps.
Well,
or
if they go there.
If they go here, then we're good.
You're good. Then you have to.
But if I go here, it's a trap. But if I can get them to go here, then that's closer to a treasure. So maybe
and you can leave with 1 treasure, but if you look at the book, there's like going, you don't want to do that.
You win, but not really. Yeah.
Yeah, it won't haunt you for the rest of your life.
The idea is, so maybe I do stay sticky, and maybe I'm hoping they'll think that I meant there, but I doubt it. But hopefully they'll go there.
I would have went there.
Yeah.
Or there.
Exactly.
It would have been one of those 2.
So, okay, great. He went to the wrong place. It's nothing, but that's okay. That's not the end of the world.
It'd have been a trap.
Yeah, that would have been a trap. So we're gonna hope you went here. So then I think I have to come up with something off of sticky to get them to keep going, to get them to where I need them to be. So let's see, they're there now. So now I come up with maple. No, I should have gone brown. Brown might have gotten them to go both trousers and syrup. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not.
Mm.
But the idea is you're wanting
Some
to give
oyster
different
shells are
words.
brown,
Oh, that goes. I would be so upset with you for going south on that one. But anyway, but he may have thought that's what I meant by sticky. So who knows? Because you're using old clues to go, well, okay, he didn't look real happy when I went this direction. Maybe he's trying to lead us this way with this new clue. We've always had fun with this one, even losing. It's been fun to try to get into the clue giver's head. Yeah, I mean, I think we've lost more than we've won, for sure.
I think we counted. We've only won it really one time,
Once
two times?
or twice. I think we've won it twice.
Twice, because
once when I was the clue giver, and
then
once
one
with
of our
JB.
JB from the retreat.
Yeah.
But she's made a large version of this
I
that we're going to do on
have.
the 24 next year.
Yes. So tune into the 24, and you can see us play it live with people who've never played, and they will hate us when we're done. Actually, no. This is one of those
They'll
games
hate you. They won't hate me.
This is one of those games that people are like, okay, we got to play again. I'm going to do the clues this time. And then you play. Okay, nope, we got to play again. And you just kind of keep going. So it's a lot of fun. But anyway, that is Landmarks. Way more fun than I thought it would be when I first saw it by Floodgate Games. It's a fun one. Good party game. All right.
Okay, so now, so this one we picked up on the way home from the
This was the one
retreat.
we bought at the store in Birmingham. The
Yes.
cafe in Birmingham.
Yeah, when we picked up the other one.
Yes. MLEM Space Agency is the name of this one. Okay, so this one is a neoprene mat board. The basic idea on this one is that you are trying to get your spaceships further north. Everybody has a player board, and you have all of your little player icons out here on the board, and each one of these gives you an ability if you choose to put that guy on the rocket. So there's this rocket ship out here, and you choose, everybody chooses which cat they're sending into space. Whether it be the cat that gives them twice the number of points in a specific location, or it's the one that can parachute off, or the satellite, and they all have different abilities. But anyway, so you're choosing one of your cats, and I guess I should actually put the cat out there. So you're choosing one of the cats to put onto the spaceship. Each player is doing this, all 5. The commander, whoever's turn it is, goes up here on the top. Then you've got this central spaceship. This is the space. This is to represent this.
Yep.
See? Yeah. So you start down here at the 0. And then whoever's turn it is rolls all the dice. And then on this, the only dice you're allowed to keep are the ones that indicate, the ones that match, if you can see this, the location I'm at. So right now I'm at the 0. So I can keep all my 1s, 2s, and I think I had 1 at least that was like that. And my comets or my fireballs. So I can keep this fireball. I can keep these 2s. These 2 4s are out for the round. I can't use them anymore. So then I can move. And I want to say it's this that gives you the movement, but I could be wrong. There's one of you're able to move up the track, and then you do it again. So maybe I'm up to here now. And I maybe up here, I've only got 3 dice left. I've rolled out and I've only got 3 dice. So then I would roll again. And okay, I'm keeping my 2s, but that 3 is gone. And you keep doing this, and to see how high up you can get. You always have to have at least 1 die. But at some point, each of the players on the spaceship can decide to jump ship. And when they jump ship, they land on whatever's near. Like here, you can't jump ship here or here. But here, you can go to one of these planets and get victory points. And you just leave your marker wherever he went. Did I put him out? No, I guess I didn't. I guess I put him back in there. You leave your marker here. Or on the planet, or wherever. And then it becomes on the planets, it becomes an area majority thing at the end of the game. It's basically a push your luck game.
Yeah.
So obviously you want to get higher up because you get higher victory points the further up you get, but getting up that high is hard. It really is hard. I mean, it was fun. It was a cute game. Is it something I need to pull out and play all the time? No, probably not. But it was cute. We didn't really talk about this one, whether we're going to move it to the other collection or hold on to it. I wouldn't mind playing it at least one more time before we make that decision because we've only
Play
played
it
it
at a
once.
higher player count too.
Yeah, I would like to play it at a higher player count before we decide whether we're keeping it or not. But it's cute. I did enjoy our one play of it so far. Good. But anyway, that is MLEM Space Agency. Very cute push your luck games, all about cats. If I can get it sealed again. There we go. And for the moment, it is going to stick around for another play. All right.
Another one we got on the way home is Forest Shuffle. I didn't put this game up.
We played this one at a BGI event recently. It probably got put on wrong there, I'm guessing. That was the last time we played it. All right, so the idea with this one, we've played this one several times now. You have, or a couple times now anyway, you have your forest out, and you actually have two different sides to this.
I thought that was the meadow.
The meadow, I'm sorry.
Oh, I like that side.
Yeah,
better.
I like this side. We've never played with this side. That side pretty. I'm gonna leave this side up. Anyway, so you have your meadow with all your animals. Everybody gets their cave card. Cave card is basically used to hold extra cards. You have certain animals, will let you put them in there. There are 3 winter coming cards. These are used to basically trigger the end of the game. This is the timer in the game. Basis of the game, you have a number of cards, and you can have any number of cards in your hand at a time. Heck, I had a lot of turns. I only had 1 or 2 cards left. But there is a deck of cards. You have cards in your hand, and as you are... Oh, this one actually splits the areas. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I just saw that. This side doesn't do that. All right, anyway. So as you are playing cards, you are playing cards. This is one of those games where you are playing cards and paying for those cards out of the cards in your hand. So, for example, if I wanted to put this tree down, and I have to have a tree down before I do anything else, this tree is going to cost me 1 card. So in order to play this tree down, I have to pay 1 card out of my hand. So say I'm going to pay this card. So he goes right there somewhere. Anyway, so I put him down. This card is now available for anybody else to pick up. On your turn, you can draw cards out of the deck, or you can pick cards up out of the meadow. Maybe somebody's looking for this lynx or this roe deer. I know you were looking for the roe deer quite a bit in our last game.
Yep.
But
because with a lynx and a roe deer, the lynx is worth $10.
Yeah.
10 points.
Well, they can't be on the same card though.
I know.
Yeah. But the idea is that at the part of your turn, you can, again, take cards out of the meadow or off the deck, or cards out of your hand, and you're placing them out onto the trees, either to the left or to the right. And I probably did that backwards. Yeah, to the right or to the left. And then there are also cards that go
Above and below.
Above or below. So each tree can potentially hold 4 different pieces of fauna, flora, or animal life. There are some, like there are rabbits, that you can have multiple rabbits off to the side of one tree.
Which last time we played
Is how the gentleman won. Yep.
Made.
Oh my goodness, yes. So, but yeah, at the end of the game, essentially your tree is going to look, each of your trees, because you're putting more trees down. But as you're putting trees down, so say I had, in order to pay for this tree, I discarded this tree. Well, every time you discard a tree, you're taking the top card off the deck and putting it into the pile as well. So people maybe are taking the trees out of the center so they can get them planted. The trees are worth victory points based on the items at the bottom, as are all of the animals. Like this lynx is worth 10 points if at least 1 roe deer. You have 1 roe deer on that same tree, or if it's just anywhere in your forest, maybe.
I
It
think
just
it's on
says,
that tree.
it doesn't say on that one.
If at least 1 roe deer.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The squeaker is worth just 1 victory point. Just simple as that. No
We had
qualifications.
no idea what the heck a squeaker was.
I don't know, clue.
It looks like a little guinea pig or something.
The roe deer is worth 3 victory points for every animal you have with a specific icon on it. What is that? The blackberries are worth 2 victory points for every fern icon you have. So all of these, and there's the European hare. Any number of European hares may share this spot. You get 1 point per European hare.
So that's the only card you can double.
So
start
this
stacking
card,
across.
you can start stacking this off of your trees, like so, and just keep going. And each one of them is worth 1 point for every other European hare you have. He had like 10 of them. He had a lot.
He had a
We did
bunch
not.
of 'em, yeah.
We did not realize how deadly that was until he already had 8, and we couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
So, don't let one player take them all. Let me tell you. It's an interesting card game. I've heard people say that this is super brain burny. It is. That it induces a lot of AP. It does. But I really like it. I love the theme. Absolutely love the theme on this one.
And this has an expansion that we just
have not been able to find. Yeah. All right. But anyway, that is For Shuffle. Great little card game. Very thinky. I put it on right. Jeez. We're going to hold on to this one. Matter of fact, we're going to look for the expansion to it because I'd be curious to see what that adds to it. But yeah, For Shuffle.
Yeah, and that's
All right.
one we got after the retreat.
Yep.
But it was the result of the retreat.
The retreat, yes.
It was the last of our Grail games we'd been looking for, and that is
Chimera Station. Yeah, this is the last of the Grail games. We got to come up with a new one.
This is one that I'd heard of. I always wanted to play, and the first year at the retreat we played it. I said, "Hey, I seen that they had it. I was like, I want to get it out. I want to play it," and you liked it too. So
Yep.
it was like our go-to game at a convention to play.
We've played it a few times at conventions.
And yeah, because we played it at the retreat almost every year, and we played it at Dice Tower West.
Okay, so here's your board. The board is essentially a big space station. So the way this runs, everybody has their player boards, their player pieces, and the idea is that
They stay on the board better than that.
when they're flat. This is a worker placement game. At the start of the game, there are only a few pieces out. You have a number of space station abilities down here. All of these are worker placement areas. These are worker placement areas. One of these areas over here is to build more of the modules off of here up into the space station specifically. And the space station starts out with only this one open. And you start building off of it and keep going. As you are building modules out, you are gaining the ability underneath where you're building. You are potentially gaining the abilities off of wherever you put your worker at. So if you're putting your worker up here, you're gaining 3 coins. You're gaining 2 food. You've got to feed your workers in this one. There are areas where you can pay coins to pick up body parts, essentially. And those body parts go onto your board. And then at the end of the turn, or at the end of the round, anybody who put themselves over here in the splicing lab can now splice body parts into their aliens. You can only do 1 body part per turn, though, per alien, but you can hopefully get them snapped on there.
And you can only have 2 per alien.
Yes, each alien can only have a maximum of 2. So now each body part will give you special abilities when you place that alien out. Like the green pieces, the leaves, mean you don't have to feed that alien anymore. He is self-sustaining. The claws let you grab extra resources when you get resources. The brain gives you extra points in specific areas. And the tentacles the claws let you push people out of the way. The tentacles grab extra resources. Yep. So throughout the game, again, you are building modules out from down here by going here. You are getting more pieces. You're splicing them onto yourself. And then you're going to, the different modules all have different abilities too. So as the game progresses, the board is getting bigger and bigger with more places to get victory points and or money and or pieces. It's a great worker placement game. I love this game. I really do.
And every time I look at the board, I always think, this is the Mario area, because it's gold, from Mario Brothers.
Sure.
And then this is the Burger King area, because it's kind of like the Burger King logo to get food.
Okay.
Yes, I know.
You are weird, but but yeah, good game. We're in the process of playing this at the retreat, and one of our friends that we met this year at the retreat came by and said, "Oh, hey, I have that up for sale. I had it in the flea market, and I did not see it in the flea market or in the virtual flea market that we had."
He put it up like a week after the last time you looked at it.
Yeah, so we made arrangements, and he mailed it to me after he got home. So yay.
Thank you,
I can't get that one apart. But so yeah, great game. I'm happy to have finally gotten our hands on it.
Yeah, when they go together, they don't like.
They don't like.
That's the only down part of this game.
Yes.
That sometimes they just don't want to go together.
No, they don't want to come back apart. That is Chimera Station.
It's definitely staying.
Fun, yeah, definitely staying.
All these are staying.
Fun worker placement. Yep. All right.
Okay, now it's off to the retreat and what we got through the game exchange at the retreat.
And a couple Kickstarters, but yes.
And a couple Kickstarters.
Well, yeah, we'll say those
First
last.
off is a game called Nicodemus. This is actually the French version, I
Yes,
believe.
we had two. Luckily, it is language independent. There's no writing on the cards.
But the
But we had to
directions
find
weren't-
had to find an English set of directions.
So this is from Bombix. A lot of people have picked this up because at the end of the game exchange, if there's any other games up there, you can just go up there and grab them if you want them. And a lot of people, I looked at this like on, I've always been curious about this game because
Yeah.
I'd seen it in stores, the English version of it, and I picked it up and I was like, well, let me see. And I was walking around and I put it back down to look at another game,
Yeah.
and somebody else picked it up and they were looking at it, and then they turned it around and they opened it up and realized it was foreign language, and they put it back down. I was like going, I can go on BGG and get the English version. So I picked it up. And I'm glad I did. It was a lot of fun.
This was fun. That being said, we played it back in August or September, and I do not remember how to play it now, but I remember really enjoying it. Yeah, so we printed out the English version of the rules. And an English cheat sheet for all the tiles. So we knew what they did.
So this is your board.
So the basis of this game, as I said, this is your board. This is what's called the bric-a-brac. On your turn, you have a number of cards in your hand. You can play cards from your hand into the bric-a-brac, and they basically kind of cycle down until they end up in a discard pile. So as you're playing cards from here, you are gaining charcoalium, which is some of the resources, based on the number of victory points on here. And you are doing whatever this power is here. And there's an entire extra sheet in here that we printed out to show us what that was. Or somebody printed out. But they each have special powers up here in the corner. Throughout the game, you are also getting other resources as well. This is your victory point track. The game is triggered in one of two ways: when there are no more cards in the draw pile, or when one player hits 20 points. That's the end of the game. Alternatively, on your turn, you can repair a machine that is in the bric-a-brac. So say this was like this and I wanted to repair this machine. I would have to pay, and I don't remember what they're called, 2 blues and 2 tans, 2 beige, whatever.
Why don't you know the name?
I don't know why I don't know them. But anyway, I would have to pay 2 of the blue resources, 2 of the beige resources, and 1 charcoalium for every machine I had to get through to get to this one.
Wood, copper, and crystal.
Okay. I would have to pay that plus 1 charcoalium for each one of these. And then I could pick this machine up. It is now repaired. It's in my workshop, and I get 3 victory points off of it. Done. That's basically the game. On your turn, you have 3 options. You can play a card down. You can repair a card. Pretty much it. I think there was play a card, repair a card. There was one other option, and now I don't remember what it was. Produce resource or charcoalium according to what is shown on the machine's production zone. So you could play, produce, or repair. It was actually a really neat
I really liked
game.
it. I was glad that I picked it up.
I was too. I really enjoyed this one.
And you can't beat free.
Can't beat free. Although we did put games into the draw, so it wasn't really free, but you get the idea. It's all part of the fun.
Yep.
All right. So anyway, good game. We are going to hold on to it, French rules and all. So thank goodness for BGG and
people putting
rule
in
sheets.
English
Yeah.
rules books.
Yes. All right. That is that. There's more to it. There's some tiles and things that go along with it, but I'm not going to go into all that.
They're projects.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Extra things you can do.
Yeah. All right. But
That's
that is Nicodemus. Great 2-player game. Guys,
Bombix.
I want you to see this. I did not put this on. I did not put this box lid on.
You saw nothing. You turned the box around.
Whatever. Anyway, that is Nicodemus, and we are going to hold on to this one. All right. Your turn.
Next, we got Council of Four. This is another one that I've looked at a lot. It almost like has the same artwork as Nicodemus has. I wonder if it's the same artist. I'm not sure. This is a Simon and Cranio game.
I'll be honest. This had zero attraction to me. It just
Really?
the artwork does not draw my attention.
Well, it didn't really draw my
wrong.
attention.
It was
I
good.
just heard some people
Yeah.
saying that they really liked this.
I had never. I mean, I'd heard of it, but it just I would never have picked this up off the shelf based on the artwork. I did end up really liking it though. So, there's pieces everywhere. These inserts are almost
It works
useless.
for
It works,
the
but
minis.
It worked. The mini insert works. This insert that, and to be fair, we got it used. It could have had a lid at one point. It does not have a lid now, and it's crap, but because they go everywhere. So
Well, it looks like that.
these go into here, but they
And
they
this
don't
goes
stay
on
there.
top of
This-
that. Is
yes,
what's
but
supposed to
it should
fit it.
It should have a lid. Anyway, so the minis are gorgeous. So here are the council members minis. And then if you can see them, there are the player minis. I'm not going to dig them out.
No.
But those are player minis. These are council minis.
Yep.
They are beautiful. I mean they're basic plastic, but they are nice for what they are.
It's Simon, so
True.
it had to have minis in it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so here is your board. And there's two different sides to this board, isn't there?
You put it on player
It's player count. Okay.
Yep.
All right, so I'm actually going to do this on this side so I can lift the board up. The way this plays, everybody starts out in one place. You've got all these council minis, which I'm not going to take out, but you've got different color council minis lined up down here on the bottom of the board. This is another board that goes beside it that has 4 more on it. And this is the Queen's Council or something like that. I don't remember what it was called, but you get 4 more. You can't see that. That is way off camera. 4 more minis on the bottom of this one, 4 more council members. And then you have council members set off to the side. All of the leftovers are set off to the side. Again, super high level because we have so many of them today. You are essentially moving from one to the other. There are different bonus tokens put out in each of these cities. And as you notice, the cities are all kind of alphabetical across the board. There are tiles out up here that are, I don't want to say drafted. They're up here that you can pick up that will allow you to build into the different cities, will allow you to go to the different cities.
Yeah.
When you do so, you put one of your people down, and that gives you access to that city. Now that shows that you are there. And every time you build in another city that is connected to your network, then you can activate the bonuses on all of the cities that are connected to the network.
And
that
each
you
little
just built
circle
in.
in them all have little bonus tokens that go there to tell you what you get when you activate.
And then there is the queen that roams around, this white figure right in the middle. She roams around doing other stuff, and you can build in her city wherever she's at if you have a specific tile to do so. Again, super high level. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it. I did not expect to enjoy this when I first looked at it.
Bad.
I don't.
I
I think I
this
did.
Game. I
I
dominated this
did.
game.
I lost by like 30 points.
But it's
pretty
good
bad.
to hear that she liked it.
I still liked it.
'Cause
I
I
still
really
want to play it
liked
again. Yeah, I definitely want to try it. I need my
Lots of there.
revenge. Oop, that is the bottom. Okay, never mind. But yeah, great game. If you ever get a chance to try it, definitely try it. That is Council of Four from Simon.
And it's a
And-
Simon Luciani and a Daniel Tessini game.
Okay. Fun game. We need to play it again so I can get my revenge. I should have just left it. He'd have never known. Until he went to put it on the shelf somewhere.
As soon as you picked it up to show it, I would have seen it.
See, but I kept it like this so you couldn't see it. There was a reason I did that. Anyway, now he's never going to trust me when I do this. Council of Four. It is going to stick around. All right. Next.
Next is another game with a story. This is Intrepid.
I feel like these all have stories.
Yeah, this one, during the exchange at the retreat, you go up, your name's called, and you go up and you pick a game off the table if you're one of them that actually donated to the tables.
Yeah.
And I actually went up and got Rex, which is the miniature version game kind of Twilight Imperium. But it's a very take that type of game. and we're not big to take that though. But I always heard good things about it, and I said, well, if I don't play it, we don't get to play it, I could sell it because it's been out of print for a very long time. But one of our friends there, his wife went up and picked up, because he told her when she goes up, because she's
a new
just
gamer.
brand new to gaming.
They just got married.
Get anything with a big box. She's seen this, brought it back, and she goes, how did I do? And he goes, great. That's exactly what I told you to get, except for I already have that game.
Yep.
He explained the game to us, and I said, here, I'll trade you. And he's like, okay, cool, because he loves Take That games. So
Yeah.
that's how we ended up with Intrepid.
I guarantee you, Rex,
Intrepid.
Intrepid.
This
Okay.
is a co-op game.
Yes, which is much more our speed than Rex was. Okay.
From Uproarious
So
Games.
this one looks interesting. This is one I might have actually grabbed. She got called way before any of the rest of us. But I probably would have grabbed this myself if it was still up there. So it looks really interesting. This was apparently at one point in the Dice Tower library.
It said stolen
But it's
from
not
Dice
anymore.
Tower Retreat, but it says no longer.
No longer. Nice. Okay. Cute. Okay. So the way this one plays, well, and I'm not even going to go into a lot of how this plays. I'm just going to show you some of the components. So this is, I don't like the fact that they warp though. This is your space station. Notice all the plastic. Everything has got plastic grids on it to hold the pieces in place, which I love. There are, and this apparently has expansions in it.
And we have
because, because it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different countries you can play.
And it's a 4-player game?
It's a 4-player game. I have a piece of sticker on my finger. Each of the countries come with a number of tiles that you can build into the space station. So each country is slightly different.
And it's cool how they go in, because
they just
slide
lock
in
right
the
into
slot,
place.
but then to take it back out, you just
Yeah.
hit a corner because it's got a raised area there.
I love that. Everybody gets their player aids, and then everybody has, oops, if I can get to it, their player, basically your player board. And this, you've got a tracker up here that tracks, I want to say that's your action number of dice. That's the number of dice you get to roll. And then
You have your dice colors.
everybody picks a dice color based on what you're doing, and you get your dice colors and then your trackers. So on your turn, essentially you are rolling dice or it is a dice placement game. You are rolling dice to put into either the base of the section or to the tiles that have been built.
On your side.
On your tiles. You can only put stuff onto your tiles, your section of the space station. There are ways to move dice around. So say I filled in all of mine, I've done everything I can do to get the production I need, but I still have a 6 left, and Greg really needs a 6. I can put a 6 into the airlock, and he can take one of his dice, turn it into a 6, and put it onto his board. So there's ways to transfer your dice numbers from one player to another, which I really like. That makes it much more convenient. The main goal with this one is you are trying to fulfill what are they called? There's achievements you have to fulfill. There's a deck of cards you have to get through by spending so many resources or doing specific things during the game in order to accomplish those. And then once you accomplish those, you move on to the next step. And once you get through that deck, then you win.
If you get through it.
If you get through them,
make it out alive.
Now the space station is also made up of these boards, and this is where some of the trackers come into play. Each player takes control of one board. You're tracking how many resources you have in climate control and power and oxygen and nutrition. And these are the resources that you're spending throughout the game. You have to have so many of them in order to make it to the next round. If you don't have enough produced to even make it to the next round, you lose automatically. So you're spending, and all of these different tiles give you different stuff. Like this one tile here
Gives you a dice and
gives you
food.
a die and food. Take one
Nutrition.
die from your storage, and then you also get a nutrition. In order to fill it, you have to fill it with one odd dice of either 1 or 3, or an even dice of 2 or 4. This one here gives you a die roll of oxygen. Die roll +1. So you roll a die, you get that +1 oxygen. And you just have to put an odd number die on it. So there's all sorts of different things going on. I really like this. I was surprised how much I like this. I shouldn't have been. It's cooperative and it's dice placement. So,
The only bad thing about it is the storage on this box
They
because I doubt if they can see it though, but there's little dents up here
yeah,
now from
sitting like that.
that because of the way they sit in here. It's hard not to have that happen.
Yeah. Which is not the
So,
end of the world. I'm more
no.
worried about them warping,
Yeah.
which is what's happening. Interesting game nonetheless. I really like what it does. A lot of fiddly parts, pieces, but I love the way the wheel changes. You don't move the cube on the wheel, you're moving the wheel itself, and that's
Yeah.
kind of neat. You do move the cube occasionally, but for the most part, you're just moving the wheel. But anyway, yeah, that is Intrepid from Uproarious Games. Fun game.
Same
Alright.
people who did the Grand Carnival.
Ah, okay.
The last
Okay.
one that we picked up, the retreat.
Yes.
That was a go back. There's another one, but it was
It wasn't a go back.
either
I can't
farther
remember
down
what
the
it was now, but I know
And
it
this
was
is
further down.
Monuments. This got a really bad review on most of the ones I
Mm-hmm.
see. One, because of the rule book, and two, that it's trying to be things, a bunch of different things, and
Yeah.
it didn't work. I didn't have much of a problem with it,
Okay.
but the
To-
fact that in a two-player game you could only play either these two countries
Yes.
or those two countries.
Yes.
But it made it because there is that take that there part of the game for
Yeah. Here, put that over there so they can still see the box, but it's out of the way.
yeah. There's
Okay.
a take that part of the game where you can go in and take
You
over
can battle,
areas.
and we never did battle. That you can avoid it, which is nice.
Yes.
So I do like that, and it didn't change the game
Mm-hmm.
overly much. My biggest complaint with this was the amount of storage space that is wasted.
Yeah,
in this
this
game.
box is way
So,
bigger than it needed to be
these
because of the
are-
way things are stored.
These are each of the player areas. These could be in a small,
Smaller
something
container
way
because all
smaller.
those could have been
yeah,
pushed more
much
closer
smaller
together.
containers on these.
I think they went to make it a big box to be a big box.
I don't know, but if it wasn't for the fact that it is such a huge box, I would get rid of all these storage containers and just box it myself. But it would
The
waste.
resources are deluxe resources. They're kind of cool, but we had better ones.
The only one we used was the sheep.
Yeah, and that was
Well,
only
we used
because
the
you
weapons.
couldn't. And that was only because you couldn't go get.
I couldn't
the
find my sheep, yeah. So, but we changed out the wood and the food and the stone for better
Because
resources.
they really didn't
but
match. Because
yeah.
this is the stone.
That looks like a pile of,
It looks like
Gravel.
a pile of something.
this does not look like food. I would have never guessed that as
No.
food, but okay.
This reminds me, if you've ever played, I know Tom says a different game though, but this reminds me of the little, the monster in Lift Off,
Yes.
Get Me Off This Planet.
Yes, it does. Yes. And then you've got bridges that are both bridges and boats.
They're the exact same.
Which
And these
for the
bridges,
boats are fine. Those bridges
they're
are way
too big for the bridges.
I want to see if I can get my hand, and I don't know if I can get my hands on them or not, some extra bridges from Hamlet. Those would be perfect. That's the perfect size.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I can get my hands on extras or not. So anyway, so you've got all your resources. They actually give you two trays for resources. I combine them all into one to fit some of this extra stuff in here. All right, so here is your board, and this board is
Huge.
huge. The board is a hexagon board that actually reminds me a little bit, it's got a Catan feel to it,
Yeah.
almost. So, and this is showing you nothing. There's
Yeah,
too
that has a
much
Catan
stuff.
feel, like in the dark.
Too much stuff. Okay, here we go. So, yeah, it unfolds. Oh my gosh. How does this thing unfold? Okay, it goes this way. No, this way, this way. All right, that's as far as we're going. And there are 4 different civilizations on each of the 4 continents here. So we played over here. Each of these continents, each of these hexes, as you can see, produce different things. Stone and wood and food and sheep. I think that's the main 4, isn't it? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and steel. No,
And
steel,
steel.
not stone.
Where's the
It's
stone?
metal.
It's metal.
It's metal, wood, food, and
Okay.
sheep.
Okay. So anyway, is that what that pile is supposed to be? Is metal?
Yes.
That's
Not stone,
metal?
it's metal. Yes, that's metal.
I have little metal pieces that look
Metal
like
looks like
silver
yeah.
gold bars. So that's what we used. Anyway, okay. So on your turn, you can do a number of different things, including traveling to take your little people, because everybody has little people. up here, and you start the game with some little people on the board. And then you can move from one location to another as long as you're not crossing a river, because then you've got to build a bridge. You can't cross the rivers until you do that. You can't go across the ocean spaces unless you build a boat. I mean, that makes sense. You can produce. There are different ways to produce. You can build buildings. You can do, there's a number of things you can do. And there's a lot going on. This game actually took us a few hours to play it the first time.
Yeah.
And we really enjoyed it. We never once battled.
No.
So I did like the fact you could avoid that. It was just a race to really build up our infrastructure.
Yeah, and the only way to battle is to get your military built up.
You've got to get your military.
Only certain militaries came out in certain rounds, but there was that one card that you could get that says now you can build your military, but yet in the rule book you couldn't build your military till like the second or third round. But I had a card that says now you can build your military. And
well, they meant you can build your military. You could not build your airplanes because airplane technology did not exist until the third round.
Yes, I know, but it had Army, Navy, and Air Force listed as the military you could build. If you couldn't build it in the first round, then you shouldn't have it on the card in the first round cards.
Well, they have a number of different rounds. Each round there is one card out that allows somebody to start building their military. So if you can get to that card first and grab it first, especially if you're in a group that likes to do war,
I mean, because then you could build your army.
You can at least get your army built up and your navy. You just couldn't build your Air Force until the third round because plane technology did not exist.
The artwork in this is kind of cool. I do like how detailed they get in the airs.
Yeah.
The one thing that I hated about this board,
what's that?
The rivers were an afterthought.
Yes.
Because they drew out everything on the board, and then it looks like they took blue Sharpie marker and just kind of drew in rivers.
Yeah, it really did not.
Because you needed bridges. You couldn't just cross a river. You had to have a bridge to get across the river.
Yeah.
And the other part was these oceans here and along this. It never addressed whether you could get over it on a bridge or you had to have a ferry. And on the ferry parts is when you load your ferry and then you push out to the center of that tile.
Yeah.
And it was hard. It's like going, well, what about here? It's like, okay, I'm getting on the ferry here, and you push out to the center, and then you go across to the next tile. But there's land out here in this area, so it was kind of like, what is
very
exactly
ambiguous
you do there?
as to what you could do and what you couldn't. I still very much enjoyed the game.
Yeah, I still like the game.
I definitely want to play it again.
I like the fact that you're building the temples, and the temples are all pieced. It kind of reminds you of Seven Wonders Architect.
Because your ultimate goal is to
I think these were like the best part. I got pictures. I mean, you can always show them.
Well, I'm just going to do this. You've got 4 different monuments of the Seven Wonders stuff. These were
the 7 Wonders.
The 7 Wonders and monuments. 4 different monuments, including Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu, I think that's how it's pronounced. What is that? That is Rhodes.
Rhodes,
right?
yes.
Yeah, that's the statue in Rhodes.
That's the lighthouse.
The lighthouse, and then that was the one in Mexico.
The Lost City.
The Lost City, or this was one. I think it was the Lost City of. I don't know. Anyway, it was the one in Mexico. So, and then there's various cards in. There's a lot going on in here, and as a whole, we very much enjoyed it.
Oh, wow, and it was 76, 77.
Yeah, it was really close. This one was really close. Is that? Nope, something's missing.
Like those go down here.
No, these
go right there.
Do those go right there?
Yes.
Oh, those do go right there. Okay.
That on there.
I think the rule book went down in there too. Okay, there we go. All right.
It packs together fine.
It does,
It's just there's a lot of wasted space. The box could have gotten away from being this big.
The box could have been at least an inch shorter if they had gone with different trays.
Yeah.
Okay, that is that box. Very interesting game. I know that was a very, very high level, but nope. No, wait a minute. Nope, I got it. It's all right. Okay. Monuments Deluxe Edition, though we have better upgraded pieces.
Yes, we did.
Anyway, it's interesting. Will it stay forever? I don't know. But I would like to explore it a little bit more before
I'd like to play it at a 4-player.
Yes, I would love to play it at 4-player. But yeah, it's a good one. I liked it. All right.
Now we're off to Kickstarter land.
The last 2 are Kickstarter.
So this one, I didn't see it, but apparently Jeff heard him tell about that. The first play of this next game is going to be long.
Well,
because there is a lot of AP in it.
He reached out after he saw us get it and saw multiple people start saying, hey, we finally got it, he regretted passing up on it because it was put out by the same people who did Dinogenics, which is one of Jeff's favorite games ever. Your favorite games ever. But
That's
he
the reason
passed
why I got
on,
it.
yes, and he'd passed on doing the Kickstarter preview video for it because it didn't look interesting to him. So he reached out to the guy and he said, okay, but if you think Dinogenics at 5 is long, be expecting it with this one.
Yeah.
And we had already told him the same thing.
Say 2-player game of this, it took us a while
It took
to
us,
play.
essentially, by the time you boil it down, over the 3 days between setup, playing it, finishing it, 7 hours. Mind you, that was a lot of setup and figuring out the rules on the first night.
Yeah, because we were in the rule book a lot on this one because we was trying to figure out, because there is so much going on.
Yes.
You got to know what each of the buildings do and what each area does.
Well, and we played it for probably 4 hours on that Saturday, and then we had another game night to go to. We had an event with Coopla Nerds, so we went to that, and we just kind of left everything on the table and blocked the door so the cats couldn't come in and remove stuff, and then finished it up on Sunday afternoon after grocery shopping. So it took us a while. I don't think a second game.
We were exploring.
Yes,
it, so.
I don't think the second game will take nearly as long when we finally get a chance to play another game. And again, this is going to be another one that is extremely high level when we talk about it because there is so much going on here.
Yeah, there's so much going on here.
So your board is this double-layered, beautiful board. Okay, so here we're just going to do half the board. So the board is double-layered. You start out here at the docks, and then eventually you are working your way across. Everybody starts with a couple tiles already started out at one of the 4 docks. Areas of the board are shut off based on player count. And you reach all the way down here to the trench, and then your trench pieces are down here, and they're already preset. So you kind of already know, where the end is. All right, so that is your board. Everybody has, now see this, the last game could learn something. This is your player pack. All your pieces are crammed into here.
Including your cards.
So it even leaves room for sleeved cards and all your player pieces. There you go.
Yep.
Monuments missed the bill. Anyway, so then you've got your resource packs and you've got your dice, which we put the dice into a tray instead of a bag. But you've got all these different buildings that you are building. You've got some rovers that run around on the board. You've got
pick up resources.
You've got tunnels that you build between tiles to allow your rover to move around because the rover has to go in the tunnels. He can't just flitter around on the ocean floor. You've got your submarine, which if I can get him out of there, you've got your I can't get my fingers on him. You've got your submarine that is moving around from tile to tile, and based on the card play, it determines how far he can move. But I think that this was a little tricky to figure out at first, but I think for the most part, these are pretty well designed. Why do I have an extra card here? Oh, this is part of the purple deck.
Yes.
Oh, there it is. Okay. So the way this plays now, the basis to all of this. Now there are a bunch of tiles down here because see every player.
It has upgrade tiles like in Eclipse.
Yes.
You can upgrade your ship.
There are technology
your
tiles down here. I was looking for the player boards, but those I think are
probably
down below, and I'm not going to dig everything out.
There's a lot to dig out.
So, and we took a lot of pictures, so we'll show those. But the basis with this, you start out the game with a number of movement cards. On your turn, you're basically choosing 2 things to do. You can, and you're playing cards to do that. You've got your first action and your second action. Some of these cards have a stronger ability, and each of the races is different. Each color is different. Faction, thank you. Each faction is different. There are special abilities down here at the bottom that only activate if you do it in the second action spot.
I guess it's company. It's not a faction.
Whichever. So you have 7 cards, I believe it is, to start out the game with. And then you get some that you get later on. But like I said, some of them have this special ability that only activates if you play it in the second turn, the second action of your turn. So you play down 1 card as your first action, you do what it says. You play down your second card as your action, and you do what it says. Then your turn's over. At the end of your turn, or the start of your next turn, whatever's in your second card ability goes into, it slides over into your overworked slot. You can't get it back for an entire turn. You pick up whatever's in your first action slot. And then you go again. You play 2 actions. At the end of that turn, you pick up your overworked, you pick up your first action, they go back in your hand, your second action goes into your overworked. And it just keeps doing that over and over again. So whatever you play into your second slot, i.e. the ones that have special abilities on them, you only can do at maximum once every 2, or at minimum, I'm sorry, once every 2 turns. You can't do it every turn. I thought it was a pretty interesting in the way the cards play out, because you always had 6 of your 7 cards available to you. The only thing not available is what had to slide into overworked. But there is ways to, you move, you're processing ore, you're building, you're doing science, all sorts of stuff. I really liked it. I liked what it did. Thematically, it all made sense.
Yeah, because the whole
premise of the game. Yeah.
Premise of the game is that
I just realized I never said that.
The world is dying. It's out of resources,
Yep.
and you are finding another planet to go to, which seems weird because you're working in the ocean. But the only resources that you can
the
get,
resources are in the ocean.
Yeah, they're only in the ocean to be able to build the things you need to get off the planet. So you're scouring the ocean for all these resources.
Yep.
There's the one problem I have with this game.
What's that?
I love the game. The one problem is I feel the dragon was just added at the last minute. Yeah.
I feel like, yes.
It's basically, all the dragon is it can give you a couple points at the end of the game if it's near your stuff. But the main thing is to slow the other people down.
Yes.
Is put that dragon in their way so they can't continue building that direction or something.
Yeah.
It's the only part of the game is, and I think that is the only problem I have with the game.
I wonder,
it even feels added on.
I honestly feel like if you just, and maybe we should try this next game, just take the dragon out, don't play with it. See what it changes. Does it actually have any real benefit to the game?
And I'd like to play this at a higher player count.
I would like to play this at a full player count.
It's going to be a long game.
Yes.
It says on the box 90 to 140 minutes.
So
but like we
2.5 hours.
Figure on your first play it no less than 4 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to be a long game in your first game. And then
Well,
the more you play it, the
we
faster
were
it'll go,
really
but-
exploring the game and exploring the tiles, and we spent a lot of time in exploration. My faction or my company, whatever, they literally tell you your goal is to rush the end of the game. Explore, explore, explore. Keep doing that until you end the game. That's how you win. Because if you don't, others will catch up with you. I don't remember how
we
much I lost
we did
by.
not rush the game because
we
we
did
kept
not rush it.
exploring.
We
it.
were exploring the game.
And the one that I had is that they said build a couple things over by your dock
And then rush.
and
for
then
the deeper
rush
water.
towards the trench to the deep water near the trench and start building your city there.
Interesting. Okay.
Because once I got because you had to go out because everybody has this one main building that does a special thing that no
your
other
bigger
building does.
and which I could not get built.
And they
to save
said
my
get
life.
out there, build that because it said that I could build that anywhere.
Yeah.
I didn't have to have it connected because you can only build buildings if it was connected by a tunnel.
Yes.
This one I didn't have to, and then I could build everything off of that.
You could literally
that main
start your
building,
city in the
and
middle
that's
of
what
nowhere.
I did. And I
Yeah.
started getting out there, and
Yeah.
so
No, it's a
it'll
good
be
one.
interesting to explore
I
the
definitely
other
want to
ones.
explore it some more. I feel like we've got a few people who I think would really enjoy this with us, so we may have to set something up. But yeah, it's a good one. All right, I'm going to just set him right here.
And the final game is the one everybody's talking about,
Yes.
and it's a big box. This is Andromeda's Edge, and this is the deluxe edition.
Yes.
It's one of those boxes that looks cool on the front,
I don't think
but very colorful on the
I was
back.
going to say, I don't think I ever remember looking at the back of the box. That's very busy.
Yes, it's busy.
Very busy.
This is another one. This has Take That in it, but it doesn't really feel like a Take That.
No, there's a lot of battle, but the battles are
You're going to lose your ship for
Yeah.
like a round or two.
Yeah, and then you're going to get it right
You're
back.
going to get it right back.
So it's not too bad. All right, so there's a lot going on with this game.
A lot. It's a 1 to 5 player game.
It is, yes, and we've
40
only played
minutes
it
per
2.
player.
We have some
We played
friends.
it for 3. Because
Catherine played it with us. You're right. We played it 3-player. I forgot about that. I'm so used to playing everything 2-player. I forget. We need to. Ooh, Catherine would love Deep Shelf.
Okay, we're talking about this game right now.
So comes with those. All right. So with the
artwork in
tracer.
this game is phenomenal. If you look around this box,
Yeah.
it's just
it
really
really
cool.
is.
Very colorful.
Yes. Okay. So this one, the minis in this are fantastic. However, they almost have a toy factor to them. Like these are some of the bad guy minis. Oop. I
The
feel like I'm
Raiders.
caught. The Raiders, yes, they're the bad guy minis. This took us a while to figure out how this all goes together. I'm not 100% impressed with the game trays and how they fit back in the box because I feel like everything is very loosey-goosey in here, and I feel, yeah, anyway. Oop. But these are your Raiders. Look at how gorgeous those are. And these all have stands they stand up on, so they stand up on the board, except for this monster who
He
sits
just sits
up.
on the board.
He sits like, he's huge. And then he has these little flies that, oh, they're right there, that attach to him.
but they don't always stay.
They don't attach very well, yeah. Well, now it will, of course. So
No, there's one that
there's
doesn't.
3 of them. So lots of neat pieces. This guy is absolutely gorgeous. Look at him. Oop, oop, oop. He's beautiful. Oop, I'm holding him by his head. So anyway, so
The
again,
other way, probably.
toy factor. Nope. How did you go back in there? There we
There
go.
you
Now, in comparison, the player pieces are, if I can get them out, are all generic one color, your basic ship minis that you would see in any game, like so. All right, so the basis with this one, and again, the board is at the very bottom. Actually, the board, yeah, there is a full board. I'm not going to dig it out. I will show pictures.
Yes.
The board has a number of tech tracks on it, and the goal of the game is to get up those tech tracks. Those
That's where
tech
your
tracks
points
are
are coming
points.
from. Yep.
As the game progresses, you are putting new hexagon pieces out, and there's no action you can take to put more out. They come out at certain intervals. Basically, the galaxy expands a little bit. And then you have more areas you can do worker placement at. Your ships are basically your workers. You're putting them out to do various actions in the galaxy. And then part of the game, oh yes, part of the game is to build up your engine by building modules onto your space station. And then when you decide all your ships are out, or all the ships you want to put out are out, and you don't start with all your ships, you have to build them as the game goes on. But as you are putting more ships out, well, at the end of your turn, when you've put everything out you think you can or that you want to, you can pull all your ships back. And that's where the magic happens in this game to me.
Yes.
That is a
When
very
you start
interesting
activating
action.
your modules.
You start activating, you take a ship out, you put it down on somewhere on your board, and you activate that module. And it could be just getting resources, it could be getting money, it could be doing
Energy.
something. But that's how you're getting a lot of your resources. There's battles, especially if you are within one location range of one of the raiders will come to you and instigate
Or within
a
that
battle.
Raider's range.
Within the range
ranges
of the Raider, yeah.
Raiders change.
There are projects that you can build and put out that go over the top of your ships. And again, I'll show some pictures, but there's a whole tray of projects here that you can put out. These give you one-time bonuses. They also give you the ability to go up on tracks. They give you bonuses in battle.
In battle, because
They do give you
it's
bonuses in battle.
still, what do you call them, the citizens or whatever?
Yeah.
That go in there at
Yeah.
the top of them. Like I said, we'll show pictures.
So, and again, the high overview, I'm not even beginning to explain the whole game because there's so much to it.
Yeah.
I did enjoy our first play of it.
Yes, and this is another one I'd like to play.
I would love to play at a higher player count. I don't think I ever want to play it at 5,
No.
but I would love to try it at 4. I would like to try it again, period. The first play was a lot of fun, but I want to play it.
I mean,
want
you're
to play
all
it again.
you can get away with just attacking the Raiders, but you
Yes.
can attack
You can purposely attack other players.
Because when a raider attacks one person, if
Within
the other
range.
players were within range to get there, you can send fighters in
Yes.
there too and fight. And at that point,
It's an all-out battle.
it's an all-out battle, and other people could lose their ships. You
Yeah.
could lose your ships. Yeah.
There's still only one ultimate victor.
Yeah.
Whether it be you're another player,
Or the
the
raiders.
raiders. There's only one victor. And your dice, you're rolling dice based on how much presence you have in the area.
Yeah.
Whether it be your ships, your module, or not your modules, your projects.
Mm-hmm.
There's all sorts of things that add to your dice. So, but yeah, I think it's an interesting game. There's like I said, a lot going on in it though. So I'm curious to explore this one a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is Andromeda's Edge, Deluxe Edition, our last Kickstarter, and that is the end of this Go Back episode. You will not see another Go Back episode till Christmas, at least. I promise.
Until then, we'll see. Yeah. And we'll see you at the next one.